Ninja Warriors, welcome to Warrior Wednesday. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. Had a technical difficulty here on Facebook. For some reason, on my personal page, it didn't give me an option to do a Facebook Live. It's not the first time that this has happened. This is the second time it has happened. I'm not really sure what that's about. So I figured I'd go on my fan page and do the video because that's another option or possibility. So I'm not going to put too much energy into that. So first of all, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Warrior Wednesday. And I'm super excited to be covering what we're here to cover today. And first of all, we're in mid-August and very close to mid-August actually. And so August, like I said in my previous video, it's a powerful month. It's the number 8. 8 is a very, very powerful number, the infinity number. And, whatever life path you are, that's perfect. So, okay, cool. I'm seeing people tuning in. That's awesome. Yay. Hey, Jason, welcome. All right. So if you're tuning in like Jason, say, hey, what's up? And if you're catching the replay, comment with hashtag replay so I can acknowledge you and be like, yo, and give you a shout out. Okay. And if you're tuning in here live, it means you're driven, you're ambitious, you're committed, you are up to big things in life. You have big dreams, you have big goals, and you are committed to creating them. And so I acknowledge you for being here. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Zena Solomon, and I'm here to inspire and lead you in reinventing yourself, reinventing your life, and giving birth to your dreams so you can create a life and business by design versus living a life by default. And in the process, you get to be in alignment with your vision, values, passion, purpose, and also create possibility for yourself. So today, I'm super excited to be covering fear of failure. So is fear of failure stopping you in different areas of your life? And I actually have 5 strategies that will support you in shifting fear of failure into fuel so you can step in and create the results that you want to create for yourself. So with that said, my first question to you is, does fear stop you? Do you have a conversation of like, oh, I have fear of failure, fear of etc. And what is the definition of fear? So we've looked at different acronyms. So fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And I like to look up things in the dictionary. And so fear is actually, according to the dictionary, it is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. So that's really the definition of fear. So it's an emotion and it's also a belief. So it's a combination of the two. And so we'll go into that in a little bit. And so it's energy. At the end of the day, emotion is energy. And so one thing I want to say is there's a Japanese proverb that says, fear is as only deep as the mind allows. And so fear is actually in our heads. It's a perception. It's always going to be based on past experience, past events, and it's also perception. And so, in people, I want to say this, people who have succeeded in different areas of their lives, they've failed. So I have some examples for you. And sometimes actually failure and fear of failure and fear itself gets a really bad rap. And at the end of the day, people who make it are the ones who actually push through and really go for it at the end of the day, right? And so like people who have, failed at different things would be someone like Michael Jordan, for example. Like he was cut out from his high school basketball team, yet he still pushed through it, right? Oprah Winfrey, she was demoted from her job as a newscaster because she wasn't a fit for TV. That's another example. Walt Disney, he was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. Okay, so Walt Disney, right? The Beatles also, they were rejected by Decca Recording Studios, and they said that they were not a fit for showbiz, essentially, right? So these are examples of people that actually made it. Like there was this rejection, this fear, this failure that happened, yet they still pushed through it. So where is your energy going? Is your energy going towards the fear of failure and fear itself, or is your energy going towards your dream, your goal, your vision, your commitment? Like, what are you up to, right? And so the 5 strategies I have for you here are, first of all, number 1 is you want to reframe what failure is. So what is failure? What is this fear of failure? Reframe it. So you can look at it as fear is like we talked earlier. I'm like, what was it again? It was false evidence appearing real. Or you can look at it as another acronym is face everything and rise, right? That's another possibility. And you want to look when you reframe. Reframing is actually a perspective. So when you reframe, you want to look at what is the positive experience that you're experiencing from this fear of failure, from this failure. Like what is the positive experience, like, right? So for example, Thomas Edison said, I haven't failed, I just found 10,000 ways that don't work. You know what I mean? So that is a reframe, right? That's a perfect example of a reframe. So what would be a reframe for you? What would that look like for you? So that's number one. That's for strategy number one. Number two, you want to ask yourself, what is the lesson? So what is the lesson that you're learning? There's a lesson in everything we do. So even if you fail, there is a lesson. And so what is that lesson? What is the gift that you're getting in that experience? And what can you do differently that you haven't done that would get you to a different result? So that's number two. Number three, you want to let go of self-beat up. And what I mean by that is if you fail and you are like, oh my God, I failed at this, or blah, 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 and you get into like a self-beat up conversation, that's not going to serve you because you're putting in more energy into what's not working versus saying, okay, you know what? I actually had the courage to do it and go for it. Right. And so if you have the courage to do something and go for it, that's like kudos, way, way, way kudos to you for going for it, because many people don't even have the courage or don't even go for it. So the fact that you went for it and you had the courage, like, woo woo, good job, awesomeness. All right. So that's that. And then number four, you want to visualize success and have fear for breakfast. So what I mean by that is imagine yourself at the top of the mountain and you're climbing this mountain and you're at the very top. What does that look like? How does it feel? What are you going to experience? And know that like if you ever climbed a mountain or if you've ever been on a hike, there's a trail, right? Like there are twists and turns. That's like part of life, right? There are twists and turns. There are obstacles. That's just part of the journey. And if you fail, the reality is you're failing forward. You're not like you're not staying behind, because if you stay where you're at, you're going to be run over and you're going to be like roadkill, right? You don't want to be roadkill, right? I'm just saying. So you want to be failing forward, and failing forward means you're moving forward. You're still progressing. And having fear for breakfast means that you're actually making a commitment to build the muscle of you stepping into fear every single day. Like every single day be like, okay, I'm going to do something that's scary today that I've never done, because I'm building that muscle so I can grow and become a bigger version of myself, a better version of myself, okay? Number five is you want to surrender and feel the fear. And what I mean by that is, first of all, when you surrender, like if you're feeling the feeling, you want to be with the feeling. And according to scientists, the average lifespan of any emotion is 90 seconds. So let that sink in for a minute. Like 90 seconds is an average lifespan of any emotion, including fear. So even if you have fear, you want to be with the feeling in the emotion for 90 seconds. That's like a minute and a half, guys, right? And then let it go. Like seriously, let it go and focus on something else. So that's what you get to do. And so that's number five. So if you want to go back and re-watch what the 5 strategies are, go for it. And there's a quote by Jack Canfield that is super awesome. He says, everything you want is on the other side of fear, which is so true. So everything that you want is definitely on the other side of fear, and fear of failure is part of it. And all successes come from going for it and having that experience. So your mission for this week is you get to share one thing that you will do that will shift your energy from fear to fuel. So I want you to share so we can, collectively learn from each other. And I also want to hear from you, like what are other things that you do? And I also have an invitation for you as well. I had done a 3-part training on how, and it's a free training, by the way, how to shift fear to fuel. So if you would like access to that, comment below with hashtag fear to fuel, fear number 2 fuel, hashtag fear number 2 fuel, and I will email it to you. Okay. So that's a wrap. That's your mission for this week. We'll see you next week on Warrior Wednesday, same time, same station, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. Love you. Thanks for tuning in, and sayonara.